Hi, I'm Kat and I play Red. Back at the start of the pandemic in 1946, we had a look at one of our favourite games, Russian Railroads. We were joking about a campaign to bring it back because it's such a good game, and someone listened. Well, they didn't, it was coincidence, but that's fine. So we did a video for Russian Railroads, links down below. Then we did a video for German Railroads, links down below, because this is also going to be in Ultimate Railroads. So you can probably guess, but today's video is American Railroads. Let's have a look and see how it plays. We've got the main board set up here, but we won't actually be looking at that very much because it's the same as Russian Railroads and German Railroads. Our primary focus is going to be the player boards and the stock market board, which are the new elements added in American Railroads. Let's start with the player board. As with the other games, it has the 3 tracks. Going back to Russian Railroads, this first track is the longest track. It gives you access to the white rails and some movement on the whites. So this track, apart from a few of these spaces, isn't too different to what we're used to. We've then got these 2 smaller tracks, again very similar to what we've seen with a few extra tweaks. The main difference is here at the bottom. We actually have 2 industry tracks with 2 different markers. So when you're playing American Railroads, you're not going to be using the disc that has the second industry marker. So that goes back in the box for this game. Let's have a look at some of the special spaces. There are 2 boulders on our map here. Now, to travel past those, you'll need to get rid of them. Same with this one on the industry track. You're going to do that from the Rocky Mountaineer track. There's 2 spaces here. Now, let's move that right up and put these here. When you get a grey track to this spot, you get to use the dynamite to blow up one or other of the boulders. You'll gain 10 points in the process as well as opening it back up. So let's say our grey's there, we're going to demolish that boulder, we turn it over and we give ourselves 10 points. The second one here, you're actually going to need your brown rail here. And for it to be powered, let's just go, oh, look, now it's powered. If only it were that simple in game, huh? And you can blow up the other boulder. So this one here on the industry track, you're going to just turn that over and gain 10 points. Some of the other different spaces, let's go along the top and have a look. A lot of this is stuff you'll be used to. So here you need to have your grey track here and have it powered to gain an extra worker. These are the different spots. Now there's a few of these on the board. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the board, 6 on the board. In fact, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the board. If my grey rail is to hit here, I need to pay a coin to activate this. So I'm going to pay my coin. and use one of these little markers to prove you've done the action. It could be you get your grey rail there and you don't have the coin, but in a later turn you had the coin and you decide to take it, and that's why we have these little cubes. What we're going to do is go to the stock market board. Each player is going to start with their company marker at the bottom here, and this action means I get to move up one space on this board. So I'm going to move up one space and furthest to this side, but I then get to choose one of the available dividend bonuses here. So I'm going to just take an industry track movement, pop that there, and I get one movement on the industry track. Now, if my opponent was to move here, they'd get that bonus. And subsequently, if they moved there, they could choose a bonus. And I moved up and I'd get that bonus. And so on up the track. While these individual bonuses themselves are quite small, there is a way to get all of them that are available to you. So let's have a look at our locomotives. So in a two-player game, we have 2 of each number locomotive available, and we also have these 3 steelworks. So when someone takes, these have gone, that's gone. When someone takes the last 4, they also get to take this steelworks. Now let's just pop that forward there. You can then choose to put this steelworks as a factory. The bonuses are quite small, but they do enable you to get up the industry track as before. If these are not here, this marker can't move. Also, a slight difference, this top marker here can actually move regardless of whether there's anything in the factory spot or not. So that's a slight difference between the 2 industry tracks. So you can choose to pop your steelworks there, or you can choose to pop it back in the box. However, everyone is now going to get a personal payout on the stock market board. In this case, both of us would get 1 coin and 1 movement on the industry track. If I was up here, I'd get 5 points, 1 coin and 1 movement on the industry track, and the green player would get a coin and a movement on the industry track. So that is going to happen at 3 points in the game. So keep an eye out and try and climb up here for when these are going to hit. The other way you can get a personal payout is through one of the question mark chips that are available. So pop that on the board. I'm powered, obviously. Now I've popped this on the board, I can move my marker up by 1, choose a bonus, put that on, and I'll get all 4 of these bonuses. But this time it's only me. My opponent or opponents don't get it. This is just a personal payout for me because of the question mark tile I've used. The other thing to note with the stock market board is there is an end of game bonus. So whoever's highest up the board will get 20 points. And whoever's in second place will get 10 points. So when you move up, you always move to the side. If at the end of the game we were both up here, red would get the 20 points, green would get the 10 because red got to that point first. The other new question mark tile is the golden spike. So on these 2 second and third shorter tracks, there are bonuses for getting your black track powered and at the end of the line. So this is powered and obviously this is powered. At the end of the round, I'd get 10 points for each of those that fulfilled the criteria. However, let's say we didn't use that. And let's say, oh, actually we could use that one there and then use this one. I would get the golden spike tile, which goes in there and ups the bonus on both these tracks to 25 points each at the end of the scoring round. So in this scenario, if both of these were powered, I'd score 50 points at the end of the round. So that's a whole lot of points. It's a whole lot of effort to do it, but you know, these things balance out. The other thing worth noticing is we have the usual space for doublers at the top of the first long track here, but there is also space for doublers on both the shorter tracks. So there's actually room for tons and tons of doublers, which is great if you've got the bonus card that scores you. Realistically, that's all the differences there are. That's it, she says. But the double industry track here gives you huge opportunity to score big. So let's just say, for example, here you'd score your two biggest engines. Now, if I go over it with this industry marker, I'll score it, and I can then come along and score it with this one. So some of these, let's have a look, you score your engineers. So potentially you could score your engineers twice. The last game we played of this, I think I scored 62 or something for doing exactly that. So there's definitely bigger scoring opportunities. I find this harder than Russian railroads. I don't necessarily know that it is. It's just the fact that we don't know it as well, and that's partly Board Game Arena's fault. So I hope Board Game Arena are listening, and I hope that they're going to implement German and American railroads in the near future. So that's American railroads. That's now the trilogy we've looked at. I think in the UK anyway, Ultimate Railroads is due in August I think. And all three of these games are in that big box. I'll put links to the others down below so you can check them out. We're really looking forward to that. Looking forward to, I think it's Japanese railroads. We'll probably do a video of that once we have our grubby little hands on it. Can't wait. This is all the upgraded pieces. So just to warn you, I don't know what we're going to be getting in Ultimate Railroads. But things like our fancy little industry markers, they're normally little purple hexes. We have these super cute trains for scoring. I don't know how good the camera's going to be on them. This is actually an upgrade set that we purchased. Normally you have like a little wooden man for them, but these are amazing. And the tracks are normally wooden. So we'll see what happens with Ultimate Railroads, but ultimately we're really looking forward to it. Hope you liked this video. If you did, click like and subscribe. Come and say hello on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at iPlayRed. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.